everyone, and welcome. My name is Philo, and today we will speak about the lore of Gridania in the starting area. When you choose a class in the game, you can end up in one of 3 city-states, and today I'd like to cover Gridania, but in the next couple of weeks I will cover the other 2 states. But with that, let's get started, shall we? We begin our journey awakening after a strange dream where we commune with a giant crystal, seeing flashbacks to another time. We see we're in a carriage where we meet a man and 2 twins. We learn the man's name is Gridania. We also meet some Muggles who tell us that the normal people, like the people in the carriage, cannot see them. So that makes us special, I guess. We see that this is true when one of the Muggles goes over to our new friend and starts drinking his ale, and he doesn't even notice, proving how only we can see them. The Muggles then ask us if we've seen anything suspicious, to which we say no, since we've just arrived in Gridania, and the Muggles then fly off and start talking to themselves. Gridania then asks us to keep him company for the rest of the journey to Gridania. He tells us he's a peddler by trade and assumes we are an adventurer judging by our clothes. He assures us that we'll be fine as long as we make an honest living. He then tells us to go to the Adventurers Guild in Gridania to register and find work. Suddenly, we're attacked by the Exali when an arrow flies through the carriage. Luckily, the Wood Whalers, protectors of the Gridania and Black Shroud, show up and fend off the Exali while we make our escape. Gridania then continues to inform us about Gridania, including the war on the native Exali.
エオルゼア最大の森林地帯国営の森。この地を領する都市国家グリダニアは森の都と謳われる誉れ高き古都である。巨大な木造建築物と無数の水車によって形成された街並みは国営の森の木に抱かれ守られているという。0歳から5年復興に向けて動き出したこの都市に今一人の冒険者が訪れようとしている。今はまだ己の運命を知らぬ者。
Breadmonk gives us a gift for keeping him company before heading off, and he says that since we didn't tell him our name, that we need to become an adventurer that he can brag about knowing, and that will be his way of us repaying the debt of not telling him our name, even though I never asked.
神々に愛されし地エオルゼアの歴史に名を残す者。この冒険者の長き旅は森の都グリダニアから始まる。
Upon entering Gridania, we are stopped by a wood whaler who wants to make sure that we're not an enemy to Gridania because we're unfamiliar. Once he realizes we're a new adventurer, he points us in the direction of the Adventurers Guild and tells us to speak to Mother Mion. We then travel to the Adventurers Guild and introduce ourselves to her, and she tells us that her job is to give anyone in the Adventurers Guild guidance, and once again we hear about how the Ixali are constantly a threat to Gridania and the Black Shroud. We also hear about the Warriors of Light, these people that risk their life and limb to protect the world from the calamity, even though they were not originated from Eorzea. The problem is that nobody can remember what they look like or even their name. Whenever we try to call their faces to mind, we see naught but silhouettes amidst a blinding glare, Mother Mion says. So this is why these adventurers are known as the Warriors of Light. She then tells us to sign our names into the book so we could properly be registered adventurers of Gridania. Before leaving the guild, we meet a group of wood whalers who comment that another adventurer is here, and Mother Mion tells them to mind their manners, as the elder seed seer herself told her people to welcome the adventurers with open arms, and the wood whalers retort that it is their sworn duty to uphold peace and are not to be blamed if outsiders bring mistrust upon themselves. He then tells us not to cause any trouble or he'll take care of us personally before leaving, and Mother Mion tells us not to take their outbursts seriously, as suspicious characters have been showing up in the 12's Wood, and it has the wood whalers on edge. She then welcomes us on behalf of the citizens before sending us on a few errands. The first errand that she sends us on to is to attune ourselves with the Aetherite, a device that enables us to instantly teleport to it. It and many others around Eorzea play a key role in adventurers' lives. The second task is to visit the guild leader. Our third and final task is to visit the markets at the heart of Gridania's commercial district, where we can find weapons, armor, and many other items we may need while traveling. If we want counsel on what more the markets hold, then we should seek counsel with Parsimantrit, but not without bribing him with pie, of course. After finishing all our tasks, we return to Mother Mion to report our completion. She then sends us on a mission to Central Shroud to meet with Galfred. When we meet up with him, he tells us he won't let us go out and do tasks until we're geared, as he's seen many people die, or worse, in the last 5 years since the calamity. So quickly we take care of this armor issue by talking to the nearby vendor. After doing so, Galfred trusts us with some sensitive issues, and it turns out that we aren't quite authorized yet with all the info, but are told that a suspicious activity is going on in the 12's Wood, and that only after agreeing to aid them will we know more about the mission. Of course, we quickly agree and learn that the suspicious person we've been hearing about has been elusive and has dodged any Titan surveillance. Galfred himself suggests that he may know their movements ahead of time and thus wants to rely on an adventurer since we act separately from the wood whalers and his men. On top of that, fear and anxiety have begun spreading among citizens, and he gives us gratitude for helping him. Galfred sends us to a stump behind a waterfall a ways away from the northern part of Central Shroud. Upon reaching the stump, we find a magic blade wedged into the stump.
Look, someone's already here. Oh dear, is that a sword in the stump? Bad idea. Really bad idea. It takes a lot less than that to incite the green wrath, you know. Why, the first time we came to the Twelves Wood, we almost ended up as a train's dinner, just for crashing our airship in the wrong place.
No, not this
It was all Popolino's fault, of course. Though, Hitsu? You know him, Kuplo Cop?
Well, not exactly, but we did once share a carriage. Isn't that right?
How are the readings?
Same as the last. There is a disturbance here as well, and newly manifested at that. Kuplo Cop seems convinced of your innocence. But if this isn't your doing, whose is it?
Ever since the calamity, the forest's been really sensitive. The slightest disruption to the etheric flow, and this sort of thing happens.
It seems we have little choice.
We quickly make work of these trees that attack us.
Hear, feel, think.
Crystal Bearer. light there once was that shone throughout this realm, yet it hath since grown dim. And as it hath faltered, so hath darkness risen up in its stead, presaging an end to life. For the sake of all, I beseech thee, deliver us from this fate. The power to banish the darkness dwelleth in the crystals of light. Journey forth and lay claim to them. By thy deeds shall the crystals reveal themselves to thee. Only believe, for the light liveth in thy heart.
You fainted. A surfeit of ether, no doubt.
And what have we here?
Our culprit, it would seem. An Ixal. And no ordinary Ixal either. A chieftain. That they would venture this deep into enemy territory, the beastmen may indeed be acting under orders. This is Papalimo. We found
How
the
are we
culprit.
feeling then?
It was an Ixal
Better?
chieftain.
Good.
We'll seek Brother Esumian's cooperation in the matter. Ida?
Giant crystals?
Oh, loud.
Can't say I've seen any.
Much the same as always.
Are you sure you're feeling better?
Understood. Over and out. Kuploka, please bear word of these developments to Brother Esumian. We shall soon return to give a full report.
Understood. Over and out. Goodbye.
Here is where we part ways. Till next time, take care.
I think that sword might be a clue. You should definitely pull it out and take it back to the Bannock. You don't suppose that adventurer could see Kuplokop, do you?
And this occurs to you now? Yes, it seemed that way. Time will tell.
Well, time will have to, because you won't. You never tell me what's really going on. Unless... you don't know what's going on either.
You'd like that, wouldn't you?
And that's all the time we have for this week. Thank you for watching. Next week we will continue with Gridania. And until then, I will see you guys in the next one. Take care, everyone.